Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm Keith. Welcome to my channel. I'm new here on YouTube, so yeah, I'm excited about the opportunity and just to be a part of it all here. So let's see how things go. So, this video is going to be about an emergency fund. It's three things that this video is going to be about. What is an emergency fund? Why do you need one? And how much do you need in that emergency fund? Okay, so maybe there are four things. So also, how do you set up one and fund it? All right, so this video was inspired by an article that I was reading this morning on Investopedia.com, and in the article, it goes on to explain how a 2019 survey done by the Federal Reserve came out to find that 39%, which is basically 4 out of 10 people, Americans, couldn't afford a $400 unplanned expense. So if something pops up, it's $400. The average person, they can't afford it without going into debt because they simply just do not have the money. I thought, you know what, this is horrible. This is like, I don't understand. You know, we live in a country where even people who are on the lower end of the pay scale, they have money to afford to go out to eat and do all kinds of things, and they have a nice car, all these kind of things. So just $400 is, it's really not that much money. And I thought it's kind of inexcusable. So I just really felt like it was important that I make this video on this topic and start to better educate people, or hopefully educate and inspire people to want to save more of their money, be better, to be more financially prepared for the scenarios that are going to come up in their life, and that they'll be able to ride out these you know tough times and go through these unplanned events without being affected significantly financially and causing a lot of unnecessary stress into their lives. So what is an emergency fund? An emergency fund is some money that you set aside specifically to get you through these tough times or these unplanned expenses, whether it's a home repair, it could be a job loss, it could be medical bills, it could be auto repairs, it could be any number of things. And so you just want to make sure that you put yourself in a situation where, because these things are going to happen, they happen to everyone, it's just a matter of when are they going to happen. And you just want to make sure that, okay, I know it's going to happen, it's not happening now, so I want to make sure that I'm while things are going well, I'm going to plan for this ahead of time. So then when it does arise, I'm going to do fine. I just get the money, pay for this, whatever the situation is, and you just continue to move on. And it basically doesn't affect you like it would, someone else who's not prepared for it. So really, preparation is the key here. So you know what an emergency fund is now. It's money set aside to keep you very well prepared and planned for these expenses that are going to be, whether little or large, you're just prepared for them financially. And so secondly, why do you need one? Well, because they're going to come up. These are realities in life. It could be a death, like I said, it could be medical bills, it could be a job loss, it could be whatever it is. And when these things happen to people, typically they go into a financial panic, and they say, oh my god, I don't have this money, what am I going to do, who can I borrow it from, let me go get a loan. And they do things like go get a payday loan and pay tons of interest. And I mean, it just causes a lot of stress. And if you already don't have money and then you go borrow money, especially money at a high interest rate, it's just gonna make life a whole lot worse. And who really needs that? Who really wants that in their life? So don't do that. Don't put yourself in that situation. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. Just save the money. Make life easier on yourself. Be prepared. Have your emergency fund so you'll be ready for when when life brings you these situations. So Okay, you know what an emergency fund is. You know why you need one. So now, how do you set up one? How do you go about where do you go? You know, how much money do you put in it, and well, what's the process? Okay, so the typical the typical standard in the financial world is going to be recommended that you have somewhere between 3 to 6 months of your basic living expenses in your emergency fund set aside. So whatever your lifestyle costs for a month, your basic living expenses. We're not talking about like going out to dinner or like go do anything fancy. We're just talking about like food, lights, water, gas, your basic necessities. So whatever that dollar amount adds up to for the month, you say, okay, I'm gonna multiply that times three, and I want to, at the very minimum, have that set aside for when things go wrong. And then, yeah, then you'll have your fully funded 3 month emergency fund. 6 months is a little better. You just have a little more of a financial cushion. But I would say, and how I like to think about it is, the harder that it would be to replace the type of income or job that you're in, the more money you want to have set aside, because it's obviously going to be harder to replicate that income that you have. So if there's a job that you're in, and okay, like, let's just not trying to pick on anybody or anything, but like if you work at a fast food job, it's not that hard to get a fast food job, so you could just do fine with 3 months of living expenses. Now if you are like maybe some CEO of some company or something, you're like, hey, when I lose my job, it's not going to necessarily be the easiest thing to just go get another super high paying job. So you would say, hey, you know what, I'm going to just set aside a larger amount of money for my emergency fund. Or maybe you run a business, and then there's you say, okay, well, if things go wrong in my business, I really need to make sure, hey, I have a large amount of money going set aside, because if my business fails or whatever, or it's it did great and then now it just everything kind of came to an end, but at least you're prepared now. You say, hey, I could either start another business or I can go work now, but I have the money set aside to get me through this rough time. So point is, you need to, like, the harder it is going to be for you to get back to that level of income, then the more money you should set aside, because obviously it's not going to be easy to find something else so easy that can replace that income that you were used to having. So now what is an emergency fund, how much now you should set aside inside your emergency fund. So where do you set up one, and how do you fund it? So you can basically walk into any bank or even set up one online. There's basically no excuse why not to set up one. You don't want your emergency fund account to be tied to, like, at the actual scene. Like, you don't want your checking and your savings account, like, you don't want your checking account and your emergency fund savings account to be literally in the same account. You want them to be at totally different banks completely. So that way there is no temptation to say, hey, I'm running low on money in my checking account. I'm just going to pull a little money now from my emergency fund because I'm not using it right now. Everything's fine, but I just need a little extra money so I can go, whatever, out to eat or go shopping. And you just don't want to play that game. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. So total separate banks. Maybe you want to open up a high yield savings account. You make a little money on your money while it's just being parked there, being saved until you need it. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, you can go at any bank, just say, hey, I want to open up a savings account, and then my personal recommendation, you can just have it set up automatically where it will transfer a certain dollar amount from your regular checking account over to that savings account. And then just make sure that that savings account that they give you, that they set up for you, it's just easy access to the account. If you went, so that way when something does happen, you are able to just say, okay, hey, I need X amount of money, whatever, they wire it to you, or you can go in the branch and withdraw it, or whatever's the case. But you just don't want it so easy, like it's just right on hand. Hey, it's attached to your card, you swipe it, now you just spent your emergency fund. But yeah, you can just pretty much find the bank of your choice, set up the account, and preferably have it automated. Pick a dollar amount that's comfortable and easy for you to just continually just have it auto drafted to that account. Automate the process, keep it simple, keep it easy, and over time your emergency fund will build up and you'll be prepared, and you won't be that guy and you won't be that girl when things go wrong, or these, you know, these financial situations pop up in your life. You won't be the one that's unprepared and go into a financial panic. So thank you guys for watching. That's the video for today. I look forward to hearing from you guys. If any type of feedback you have whatsoever, you like the video, you don't like the video, if there's any, you know, videos or topics you want me to make videos on, please comment down below. Please hit the like button, it really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you haven't done that already, and that way YouTube will notify you whenever I post a new video. And until next time, I'll see you guys.